pocket, you're going to have to sew some buttonholes. Every machine is different. Mine is a little bit more automatic than others, but I thought I would take a second to show you how you do this on this machine. I have a Singer 9960. I love this thing. There's a lot of little automatic features, and it's still in like the $300 range price point, which is awesome. So if you're looking for a machine, I do recommend this one. It comes with a lot of automatic stuff and a lot of feet. This is your buttonhole foot. And what you're going to do is pick your buttons. I have a 1/2 inch button here. And to pick the size of your buttonhole, all you do is you stick your button in right here and you clamp that down tight. And that's going to tell your foot how big to make your buttonholes. Then you're going to take that foot, attach it to your machine. You're going to select your buttonhole stitch. Should just look like a rectangular box on your machine. It's usually pretty easy to spot. And then you're going to pull. There's this lever towards the back side of the front here. You're just going to pull that down and let it sit. My machine, I have to unplug my foot because it's automatic. Others are controlled by the foot. So then you're just going to, you've got your markings on here, and you know where the center of your button is going to hit, so you want to kind of gauge. Your needle is going to mark where the top of your buttonhole is, so you kind of just gotta guess a little bit here, gauge a little bit here where you put it. Get to know your machine. So when everything's in place, my button will turn green to start. If something is a little off kilter, it'll stay red and it won't let me press start. You can adjust the settings, the stitch length, the width, all that stuff of your buttonhole over on the dial here. I typically don't even mess with that because I don't need to. So you just put that under the foot and hit start. And then just kind of keep an eye on it, make sure that it's stitching straight. And then it just goes. And then it's done. And then for my machine, I have an automatic cutter, so I just hit that, pull it up, pull it out. And then you have your buttonhole. It's that easy, super easy. And on other machines, it might make you hold the foot down to do it. It's not as automatic as pressing a start and stop button. But no matter what it is, it's pretty easy. So get out your manual or YouTube it, or do what you need to do, but to figure out exactly how to use your machine. But it is that easy. And then to start another one, you just kind of pop it back in here again. Guess about where you want it your buttonhole to start. Press the start button. There it goes again. It's that simple. Now if you're using a really shifty, thin fabric, maybe it's a chiffon or something, you're probably going to want to iron on some stabilizer to the back side of your placket before constructing this. That can just help your buttonhole not to kind of pucker or to tunnel on you. But that's a really easy modification to make. It's just fusible interfacing that you iron on to the back side of your placket. If you get to this point and you realize you should have put some iron-on interfacing in there, obviously the more finished look thing to do would be to just kind of unstitch your placket and fix that. But a last minute quick fix, if you're just sewing for yourself, nobody else is probably going to see it, would be to sew some, or to iron on some fusible stabilizer to the back side of your placket. Just little squares, big enough for your buttonholes, or to use some tearaway stabilizer or something of the sort. Just so that you don't get tunneling in your buttonhole. Alternatively, you can use snaps that you either hammer on or press on. There's a variety of different snaps out there on the market. That's a very easy thing to do. Pretty much it. There, you're done with your buttonholes. All you would do now is to cut them open carefully using a seam ripper. And you do that very carefully so you don't rip your stitches. But it's that easy. So moving over to the button side. Most machines also come with this little foot. That is a button attachment foot. So let's take our machine out of buttonhole mode and take that button back out of the buttonhole foot. Let's attach the button foot, and then let's go to our machine and find our button setting. It's just going to be a circle with the 2 holes in the middle. If you have buttons that have 4 holes instead of 2, but your machine only has a 2-hole setting, you just do it twice. It's not a big deal at all. So find your marking where your button is supposed to sit and lay your button on top, and then kind of orient your foot over the top of your button. This one you're going to have to do some fiddling to get the settings right, because you have to set the width of your stitch to be the width of the holes in your button. If it's too short or too big, you're going to hit the top of your button. I like to do a couple little test turns just to make sure that we have it set right. And then all you're going to do is stitch. That's it. It's going to attach your button for you. That feels like enough. Maybe you feel like throwing some reverse stitches in there. You're done. That's it. You just trim off the thread and you're done.